Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of H.R. 3617, the Securing American Critical Minerals Supply Act, introduced by Representative John James, my colleague and member of the Energy and Commerce Committee from Michigan's 10th Congressional District. Mr. Speaker, this legislation enhances the Department of Energy's ability to assess, to identify, as well as address vulnerabilities in the supply chain for energy resources that are absolutely essential to the economic and national security of these United States of America. When the Department of Energy was organized in 1977, Mr. Speaker, the American people were suffering from the energy security fallout of OPEC's oil embargoes. You may remember prices went up, gas lines formed, and our nation's economy was threatened because adversarial nations took advantage of U.S. reliance on energy imports for their own interest, Mr. Speaker. Ultimately, the answer to energy security concerns was advancing United States production and unleashing American energy dominance. Now, the United States is the premier oil-producing nation on this planet. Today, we find ourselves, Mr. Speaker, in a similar disadvantaged position. An adversarial nation controls the access to key resources, as well as retains the ability to restrict American imports at will, threatening to bring the American economy to its knees. But instead of oil, it's critical minerals, it's rare earth elements, and it's energy resources that are essential to the daily lives of the hardworking Americans, as well as a linchpin to the next generation economy. These resources, Mr. Speaker, are absolutely required in virtually everything we need to compete, as well as defend our country from foreign threats, semiconductors, nuclear reactors, oil and gas infrastructure, the transmission system, and military weaponry, just to name a few. Make no mistake about it, Communist China knows this and is taking advantage of it. The numbers are absolutely staggering. Communist China produces 60% of the world's rare earths and 90% of the respective processing capacity, along with 80% of the processing capacity for critical minerals and the vast majority of production for at least 15 more critical minerals. The Chinese wield this authority through export controls to disrupt supply chains, as well as in market manipulation tactics to ensure that no investments flow into these job-creating industries. Almost 50 years later, the answer to this problem lies in our ability to reshore essential energy production, as well as refining facilities that can absolutely compete with our adversaries. Importantly, Mr. Speaker, the Trump administration has prioritized opportunities to combat undue influence from those same adversaries. For instance, last week, the United States and the United Kingdom signed a memorandum of understanding on strengthening cooperation between the countries on critical minerals, supply chains, and working to develop their critical mineral accessibility away from China. In addition, the Department of Energy's recent organizational realignment established the Office of Critical Minerals and Energy Innovation to fortify American supply chains that are essential to a reliable, affordable, and resilient energy industry. H.R. 3617, Mr. Speaker, will absolutely enhance the work being done by the Trump administration by leveraging the expertise of the Department of Energy to secure our supplies of critical energy resources. We know what is at stake with the next generation economy. Cutting-edge technologies like AI and advanced manufacturing hold tremendous promise to lift up communities across the country with stable, good-paying jobs while lowering costs for hardworking families. Mr. Speaker, the Securing America's Critical Mineral Supply Act takes an important step towards solidifying the U.S. position as a global leader in economies and technologies of the future. I urge my colleagues to support this legislation, and Mr. Speaker, I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman